What's up guys, we are back with another video. Today we're going to be showcasing AP Cat, and I'm going to be going into detail what you should do, what it's good for, and why it's good. So right now we're up against an Annie. I went standard electrocute page, and I'm also going to go into Doran Shield here as well, because Annie's a really pokey lane. Now I also want to highlight electrocute AP Burst into this team comp, where it's Bard, Twitch, Annie, and Jace. Now they're all pretty squishy champions, and so if I just go full burst, it's going to be very hard for them to play. Once I start getting rolling with the build and I start getting a lot of damage, they have to be really careful of their positioning. And that's part of the pressure with AP Cat, is that once you get them out of position, you're able to just instantly burst them down. And so that's kind of the goal here. Our goal is to try to snowball and make sure that we're able to just nuke him on site. Now here with electrocute, you want to go for short burst trades. And so I set up the Q. And Annie uses her stun here, so I go in for an electrocute trade. And I walk out. We trade electrocutes, but I have these shields so I can sustain up. Now, right now we have Annie pushed up. So I throw the Q to hit level 2. Now, I wouldn't normally jump on this dagger here unless Annie uses her stun. And so she actually uses the stun on this minion here. And so that's an opening for me to go for a trade. So I E in and I auto. Now, if you see, we did a good chunk of her health. And even though we have D-shield, we still have damage with the electrocute, and so that's one thing I like about going electrocute, is that with D-shield, I'm actually able to still deal damage in these small burst trades. And also, it's really good that with trades like these, you're interacting a lot less with your opponent, and so because a lot of your damage is up front, you can kind of just walk away. And she's trying to auto me, she gets electrocute off, but overall, it's a win for me. Now here, I actually find a kill angle at level 6, and so I'm level 5 right now, but I hit 6 on this minion. And so I immediately jump in, set up the Q, ult ignite, and I jump out. Now it's important to take advantage of levels here, because it gives you a huge edge in fights. And so right now the situation is like really nice. We have a big wave, and so if we get aggressive on the Annie here, and we actually end up killing her, she's going to lose a lot of minions. Also, if you see the setup right now, I made sure the wave was around here, and so Annie has to walk up, so that I have a lot of room to work with here and burst her down. We also have to look at our EXP bar here. So we are almost 6. And if you see, I actually go in before I actually hit 6. So after killing this minion, we just need one more minion. So this minion dies. I actually go in prior before I actually hit 6. So then once I go in, I'm able to put a point into my ult and then ulti right on her. So here I hit 6. And I set up the Q. And I ulti. And now with this big lead against Annie, we can start snowballing. So a good way to set up your Qs and go for these trades is just by seeing how they farm. And so right now, Annie's trying to get this minion here. And so I throw the Q. And the Q is going to land right here. And so while she's getting that minion, I'm going to be able to go in for a trade. So here we see Annie pushing in the wave, and she uses all of her skills on the minions, and so I'm going to go in for a trade here. And so she already loses about half her health. So trades like these are really good, and you just need like a couple hits to just do it where you just electrocute. This allows you to just gain control in the lane, and it prevents Annie from going around doing stuff too, because she's somewhat low now. Now with a couple electrocute trades, you can actually gain a lot of control in the lane, and so here Annie's really low. So we can kind of just do whatever we want now, right? And we can like push her off the wave. But here, Thresh actually gets collapsed on by the Twitch and the Bard. So here we're going to jump in on Twitch to follow up the Hecarim. Jump in on the dagger, eat WQ. Follow Bard into the portal. And then we see Annie, so we get the reset. And then eat WQ ulti. The Zac, and then we finish him off too. So right now, we're just looking to burst people down with the build that we have, and especially with electrocute. And so here, obviously we're looking for the reset. Now we see Hecarim off to the side, and he jumps in on the Twitch, so I immediately follow up. Now with the electrocute and the items that I have, we're able to instantly nuke him down. Eat WQ. Now we get Bard ulted, but I have a Q set up here, so I'm looking to use that to kill the Twitch and then immediately jump in onto the Bard after. So E, EWQ. Now here, the Q actually follows Bard through the portal, so this is really nice. We're able to use this to jump in on the Bard after he portaled as well. So E, EW. Now at this point, I thought I was dead. There's not really a lot of angles for me to go besides maybe queuing over the bear and then maybe jumping away afterwards. That could be an angle. But my thought was that maybe Annie would walk up because I know she was really low, and so I actually ward this bush to see if she would pop up. And so the moment I saw her revealed on that ward, I jump in on her, and luckily Hecarim was on the same page. QE, EW, Q ult. And then we end up winning that fight. Now I'm able to buy the Nashor's Tooth here with all the gold that I have. And so this is when you really want to start pressuring, because Nashor's is a really good spike for you. So I'm going to get the sweeper, and I'm going to use this to walk around and try to pressure the enemies, stay in fog, pop out, kill them, one-shot them, stuff like that. Now I also want to talk about this one bait that I did. Now this wasn't completely planned, but it is something that I do just in case. So here, Annie sees me and she ends up ulting here. Now this is just common misdirection, right? So here, the situation is the tower is low. I want to kill the tower. Annie doesn't want me to kill the tower, and so she's going to try to pressure me off of it. So what I do is I continue to walk in. The thing is, I already have plans to jump out to this minion anyway. I'm not going to contest the tower right now. But instead of just immediately jumping back to the minions, it's about staying in that position longer just to see what the enemies would do. And I didn't know she would straight up ult. But just by simple clicking, you could just bait abilities like this. So I walk up and notice how I just continue to walk. The thing is, people will look at your character model and see where it's facing. They will use that as a sign to see your intentions. My intention is to completely go this way, but she thought I was going to completely go for the tower. And so I just jump out, and she thought she was going to get me, but she doesn't. Now, Annie doesn't have ult, and so she is really exposed. She doesn't have a big cooldown, and so I'm going to jump in and try to find the opportunity here. And so when you know you're stronger and you can one-shot, you can go in and make a play like this. And the thing is, it's really hard for them to react to, especially when you're going AP Electrocute and you can instantly just burst them down. And with that, we're just going to kill everyone else here that comes. And so right now, I already have thoughts of engaging onto the Annie. And so here, instead of actually pushing in the wave, I'm going to hold the wave here and try to make Annie walk up. Now, the thing is, I have Thresh here off to the side as well. And so I don't feel like I'm in too much danger. The thing is, the reason why Annie walked up was because she was trying to bait. So we have Twitch and Bard that actually come through afterwards. But the thing is, when you go Electrocute and Nashor's Tooth and you're this strong, you can just jump in and instantly kill her. And so the bait isn't even successful because I just killed the Annie on spot anyway. And then I have the dagger set up right now on top of the Bard. So I'm going to use that to jump in. Start focusing the Twitch here. Now just with like a couple buttons and daggers, I'm able to just like nuke them. So once you start really snowballing with AP Cat and you start hitting your daggers, you're going to get really oppressive. Now right now with this much gold, I'm going to go into Protobelt. Well, I'm going to start building into Protobelt. And then here I actually decided to go Medjai's, which is also a really nice option to have when you go AP. It gives you an extra mythic passive on your Protobelt, and the 5+ pen is actually super nice. And you can use the movement speed to just run around and make picks. Now I was thinking of going for the side lane here, but I see Bard show up in the mid lane, and I think I'm in really good position for me to jump in on them. So when you're able to find flanks like this, especially on the priority targets that you can kill, it's very hard for them to react because you just do so much damage. It's really oppressive. They can get punished just for like walking up or showing up on the map. Now with AP build, you can actually do a lot of damage to towers. And with Nashor's Tooth as well. And so with us three, we're actually able to take the inhib here. And also here, I'm really strong. We see Twitch pop up. And so I just go in and burst him down. Punish him for doing that pretty much. He was like really out of position. And we're going to use that to follow up onto the Annie. And we kill her too. I try to kill the Jace here, but I'm not that OP yet. So when you play AP Cat, you really want to punish these positional mistakes. And so, if you see here, Twitch makes a big mistake. by being on my screen. And so I'm gonna wait for my E to come up and then kill him. So QE ult. Now, we get the reset on Twitch, but we also have a Bard ult coming. Now, how do we dodge this Bard ult? Well, when you go in and combo, you can always use your daggers as an option. So here, I can jump maybe like right here to make sure I avoid the Bard ult, but also engage on the Bard at the same time. E. Now I avoid the Bard ulti, and we can start setting up on the Bard. Now what I do here is actually wait for Bard to walk into the base through the gate before I throw my Q. Q. This way I can cover the option of him walking into the base. In this case, I didn't really need it, but this allowed me to get close to the Annie, and so we're gonna kill her here. And then I try to kill the Jace here, but didn't end up working out. Now after that push, we were able to get 2 inhibs. And so now we're really strong. We have 3,200 to spend. And so I'm going to get Portabelt and I'm going to start working into a needlessly large rod. We're going to go into more damage because I feel like it's very easy for me to kill the people that I need to kill if I just had a lot of damage. And so again, I'm just trying to make sure they don't play the game. Now I see Annie top here. She might push up, but I'm not too sure. Regardless, I'm going to be going topside anyway because mid inhib and bot inhib are down. And so I sweep around to see if there's any vision. Now, with 25 stacks of Medjais, I move really fast. I have Portabelt, so I'm really just looking for picks. And this way we can actually use the numbers advantage that we have to close out the game. So we got the Baron, and now we're pushing in. Now, it's important to know, even though at this point the game's already won, I just want to show you guys what AP Cat can do. And so Twitch appears on my screen again, and so the audacity on this guy. And so we're just going to make sure he's off of it. Then we end the game. So whether you're fed or not, the concept still stays the same. You want to make sure you're able to get onto your priority targets and nuke them down. So right now I have a lot of damage. Now, the moment Twitch appears on the screen, I have flash, I have ulti, I have everything up. So even using flash to jump in on him and kill them is something that you should get used to doing because it's really hard for them to play around. So flash, ulti, instantly kill them, and then we're able to end the game.